Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Mark Lynn. Namaskar. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Gaza ceasefire is set to begin on Sunday. 33 Israeli hostages to be swapped for 737 Palestinian prisoners detained by Israel in the first phase. Two Iranian Supreme Court judges killed in Tehran shooting attack. Assailant kills himself after shooting judges. Russia captures two settlements in Ukraine's eastern Donetsk region. Ukraine targets an oil depot in western Russia's Kaluga region. After months of conflict and uncertainty, Israel's government has approved a ceasefire deal with Hamas. The truce, set to begin on Sunday at 6:30 GMT, includes a major hostage and prisoner exchange that could mark a significant step towards ending the Gaza conflict. Meanwhile, the leader of Lebanon's Hezbollah group on Saturday has accused Israel of hundreds of violations of a ceasefire to be fully implemented by next week, and warned against testing their patience. Here's the report.
Israel's government, after its full cabinet meeting, has greenlit a ceasefire and hostage deal with Hamas after months of devastating conflict. The agreement, confirmed by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office, marks a critical turning point in the Gaza conflict. The agreement includes a three-stage truce beginning with a 6-week ceasefire on Sunday. Hostages held by Hamas will be swapped for Palestinian prisoners detained by Israel. In the first phase, 33 hostages, including women, children, and elderly men, will be freed by Hamas. Israel will release 737 Palestinian prisoners in return, as stated by the Israeli Justice Ministry. It had previously published a list of 95 Palestinian prisoners to be released. The Israeli government ratified the ceasefire deal after a 6-hour meeting on early Saturday. Officials say this could mark the beginning of the end for the 15-month-old Gaza conflict.
I suppose that this excellent deal. We must give here all the hostages. Yeah, it's very good.
I don't think it's a good deal, but I think we need to bring what we can. And I hope everyone will come home alive soon.
I think that it's a good deal because the hostages are coming back home. We are waiting for them a long time, too much time.
The ceasefire is tied to diplomatic efforts involving both the outgoing US President Joe Biden's team and President-elect Donald Trump, who has claimed credit for brokering the deal. The truce could also ease tensions across West Asia, where the conflict has escalated into Lebanon, Iran, and Yemen. Gaza civilians suffering from hunger, sickness, and cold could finally see the long-awaited and much-needed relief through the ceasefire. Aid trucks carrying food, fuel, and medicine are ready to enter once the ceasefire begins. Bureau Report, DD India.
The leader of Lebanon's Hezbollah group, Naim Qasim, has accused Israel of committing hundreds of ceasefire violations on Saturday, warning against testing their patience. His remarks came during a visit by the UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres to Lebanon. This fragile truce, which began on November 27, 2024, has been marred by mutual accusations of violations from both sides.
We have been patient with the violations to give a chance to the Lebanese state responsible for this agreement, along with the international sponsors, but I call on you not to test our patience, and I call on the Lebanese state to be firm in the face of the ceasefire violations, which have exceeded the hundreds.
In Iran, 2 judges have been killed in a shooting attack on Saturday outside the Supreme Court building in Tehran. A gunman infiltrated the Supreme Court in a planned act of assassination of the two judges. The judiciary's Mizan online website reported that the two judges were martyred in the act. Mizan said that the assailant killed himself after the shootings. The motive behind this killing is not immediately clear, but Mizan said that the assailant was not involved in any cases before the Supreme Court without providing further details on the attacker's identity. The popular video application TikTok has issued a warning that it's going to shut down its U.S. operations on Sunday unless the government there provides an assurance that it won't be punished for violating a looming ban. The outgoing U.S. President Joe Biden said that the next president will make the decision on the future of TikTok. The warning comes after the Supreme Court upheld a law banning TikTok in the United States, citing national security concerns due to its Chinese parent company ByteDance. The court's 9-0 ruling has left TikTok's future uncertain, with its 170 million American users in limbo. Meanwhile, the president-elect Donald Trump has vowed to intervene and save TikTok after taking office on Monday. TikTok CEO Zhao Shu thanked Trump for his support.
On behalf of everyone at TikTok and all our users across the country, I want to thank President Trump for his commitment to work with us to find a solution that keeps TikTok available in the United States. This is a strong stand for the First Amendment and against arbitrary censorship.
Well, the U.S. President-elect Donald Trump announced on Friday that his inauguration ceremony is set to take place on the 20th of January and relocated indoors due to extremely cold temperatures forecast for Washington, D.C. The event, traditionally held in the front of the U.S. Capitol, will now take place inside the congressional complex. Moreover, the planned parade of military regiments down Pennsylvania Avenue has also been scrapped and will instead be held at Capitol One. That's the first time now since 1985 that the inauguration has been removed. That was the inauguration of Ronald Reagan back in 1985. There such emergency measures have been taken because of the drastically cold weather in Washington, D.C. The outgoing U.S. President Joe Biden, just 2 days before his departure from the White House, declared Equal Rights Amendment as law of the land. This will make women of the United States feel more empowered. The law relates to equality of gender in all respects under the U.S. Constitution. The declaration mentions equality of rights under the law shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of gender. This enshrines the change into the U.S. Constitution more than a century after the guarantee of gender equality was first proposed. Supporters of the Equal Rights Amendment have long waited for the amendment to ensure that women's rights are safeguarded under the U.S. Constitution. In a statement, President Biden emphasized that the ERA would provide critical constitutional protection for women and would send a clear message about America's commitment to gender equality.
I affirm the Equal Rights Amendment to have cleared all the necessary hurdles to be added to the U.S. Constitution now. The Equal Rights Amendment is the law of the land now. It's the 28th Amendment to the Constitution now.
Ahead of Donald Trump's presidential inauguration, U.S.-Canada relations have become a bit rocky. Now, Canada has announced retaliatory measures in the face of Trump's plans to slap 25% tariffs on Canadian imports. Here's a detailed report by DD India correspondent Akshi Hansa.
US-Canada relations turn to get more sour as Canadian Foreign Minister Melanie Joly announced to hit Americans with Trump tariff tax if US's incoming President Donald Trump increases custom duties on Canadian products. According to government sources, Ottawa is considering higher duties on goods from the United States, including steel products, ceramics like toilets and sinks, glassware, and orange juice, in a first phase of tariffs that could be extended. Canadian people too are angry over Trump's overtures to make Canada as 51st state of the USA. To show their displeasure, Canadians are wearing hats bearing the words "Canada is not for sale," modelled after the Make America Great Again. Liam Mooney, an entrepreneur from Ottawa, introduced this campaign. Gloomy atmosphere can be seen at American border town of Derby Line and its Canadian twin, Stansted, where people have been living in harmony for more than 2 centuries.
Well, the U.S. House of Representatives passed a bill on January 15 that aims to reduce tax payments, prevent double taxations and provide tax exemptions for Taiwanese businesses, residents and employees in the United States. As per a media report in Taiwan titled "The United States-Taiwan Expedited Double Tax Relief Act." The act was passed in the House by 423 to 1. Now it will be sent to the U.S. Senate for vote and, if approved, will be sent to the American president to be signed into law. The main aim of this bill is to prevent double taxation between the U.S. and Taiwan. It seeks to amend the current U.S. tax laws to provide tax exemptions for eligible Taiwanese residents in the United States and to lower the withholding tax rates on income from specific sources in the U.S., such as dividends and interest, according to the report. In a significant development, the bill would seek to enact the United States-Taiwan Tax Agreement Authorization Act, which would authorize the United States as president to negotiate and enter into a tax agreement relative to Taiwan. The U.S. Treasury will take extraordinary measures next week to avoid a government debt default. The Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen made this announcement on Friday. These extraordinary measures are a way for the Treasury to ensure that the United States government can keep paying its bills and avoid a hugely destabilizing debt default. Shifting focus now to Russia. Russia launched a fresh airstrike on the central Ukrainian Kiev early on Saturday. This is according to officials. At least 4 people were killed in this attack. Furthermore, 14 people, including 4 children, were injured in the strike. A total of 24 drones and 2 ballistic missiles were destroyed by Ukrainian forces. The Kiev mayor, Vitaly Klitschko, has said that air defenses were in operation around the city. Ukraine's Air Force had earlier warned of a ballistic missile threat and said that it had detected a high-speed target heading towards the city. The attack comes a day after a delegation of senior UN officials met Zelensky in Kiev to discuss ways to strengthen humanitarian support for Ukraine. Still to come on DD India Live. India is poised to remain the fastest growing major economy for the next 2 fiscal years. And we bring you stories from the ongoing Mahakumbh 2025.
The Mahakumbh Mela is not just a spiritual gathering. It's a vibrant cultural celebration. Artists, performers from all over the country and beyond come here to showcase their talent. We see a shared humanity where heritage is preserved, cultures converge, and unity is forged through devotion and mutual respect.
You're watching DD India Live. I'm Mark Lynn. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Shankar delivered the 19th Nani Palkiwala Memorial Lecture in Mumbai in the Indian state of Maharashtra, and Shankar talked about various aspects of India's Act East policy. He said that emergence of multipolar Asia is a prerequisite for multipolar world.
That the emergence of a multipolar Asia is an essential prerequisite for a multipolar world. For India, this engagement is a logical extrapolation of its Act East policy that initially focused on the ASEAN. It also reflects a deeper engagement with Japan and with Australia, two fellow members of the Quad mechanism, as also with South Korea.
The minister also spoke about the deeper ties that India and Russia share since decades.
As a major power of the Eurasian landmass, Russia has long held importance for India's foreign policy. Despite all the ups and downs that the world has seen since 1945, this is actually one relationship that has largely held steady. For decades, Russia has had a salience in India's national security calculus. Currently, as Russia is redirecting its attention towards Asia, there is actually a further logic that is emerging. Deeper economic cooperation between India and Russia has a stabilizing consequence for the global economy. The connectivity potential of the collaboration also holds great promise. India's expanding footprint will inevitably meet Russia's influence in many regions.
India is set to dominate the global economic landscape, maintaining its status as the fastest growing large economy for the next 2 fiscal years. The World Bank's Global Economic Prospects report of January 2025 projected India's economy to grow at a rate of 6.7% in FY26, FY27. Now, at a time when global growth is expected to remain at 2.7% in 25-26, the remarkable performance of India in shaping the economic trajectory of the world. The World Bank's report credits this extraordinary momentum to a thriving services sector and a revitalized manufacturing base. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi distributed 6.5 million property cards to property owners via video conferencing today. The cards were distributed under the Swamitva scheme to property owners in over 50,000 villages across 10 states and 2 union territories. Speaking on the occasion, Prime Minister Modi termed this day as historic for the rural economy. He said that over 2 crore 25 lakh property documents have been issued in the last 5 years since the implementation of Swamitva scheme. Swamitva is a scheme launched by Prime Minister Narendra Modi with the vision of enhancing the economic progress of rural India. And this includes providing a record of rights to households owning houses in inhabited areas in villages via drone technology for surveying, that is. And in his address, the Prime Minister also hailed the property cards as a security for the beneficiaries.
कानूनी दस्तावेज मिलने के बाद लाखों लोगों ने अपने घर, अपनी संपत्ति के आधार पर बैंकों से लोन लिया है। इस पैसे से उन्होंने गांव में अपना छोटा मोटा व्यापार शुरू किया है। इनमें से बहुत सारे छोटे और मझोले किसान परिवार हैं। इनके लिए ये प्रॉपर्टी कार्ड आर्थिक सुरक्षा की बड़ी गारंटी बन चुके हैं। अवैध कब्जों से, कोर्ट में लंबे विवादों से हमारे दलित, पिछड़े और आदिवासी परिवार ही सबसे अधिक परेशान थे, उससे वही प्रभावित थे। अब कानूनी प्रमाण मिलने से उनको इस संकट से मुक्ति मिल रही है।
A local court in West Bengal's Kolkata on Saturday convicted police volunteer Sanjay Roy of rape and murder of a trainee doctor. Kolkata court will pronounce Sanjay Roy's sentence on Monday. The case pertains to a 31-year-old trainee doctor who was found dead in the seminar hall of R.G. Kar Medical College and Hospital in Kolkata on August 9, 2024. This led, in fact, to the arrest of a police volunteer, Sanjay Roy, by the Kolkata police, and that happened the subsequent day. In Sri Lanka, Jaffna's cultural centre, renamed as Tiruvalluvar Cultural Centre on Saturday. India's High Commissioner to Sri Lanka, Santosh Jha, and Sri Lanka Religious and Cultural Affairs Minister Hiniduma Sunil Senevi announced the renaming of the cultural centre to honour the great Tamil poet-philosopher Tiruvalluvar. And the Tiruvalluvar Cultural Centre is built with Indian grant assistance of $12 million. It includes a museum and a 600-seat auditorium and an 11-storied learning tower. India's Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnav on Saturday reviewed the progress of the 21-kilometre-long underground undersea tunnel. This is going to be part of India's first bullet train project. It's near Thane city, and this tunnel is under construction. It's between the Mumbai bullet train underground station to the Bandra Kurla complex and the Shilpatha in the state of Maharashtra. Vaishnav, who's the minister, stated that the work on this national high-speed rail is progressing well. He added that cities such as Mumbai, Thane, Surat and Ahmedabad would experience a boost in economic activity once the bullet train project is completed.
The Mumbai-Ahmedabad high-speed train, the bullet train work is in progress, and right now I'm standing in one of the important place here. This is the underground tunnel of the bullet train, which is around 21 kilometers. This tunnel basically starts from the border of Mumbai, that is near the Thane district, and it ends at the Bandra Kurla complex, Mumbai. The stretch of this entire tunnel is almost 21 kilometers. But the most important fact is that nearly 6 kilometers of this tunnel will go under sea. And that's the reason it makes quite important one. Well, in this tunnel you can see that 2 bullet trains can run simultaneously at the speed of 250 kilometers. You can imagine how much precision is required to make such kind of engineering marvel. Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnav today inspected this tunnel, and he stated that the work of this tunnel is right now going on at the fast pace, and it will be completed within stipulated time frame. But the most important factor of this entire engineering marvel is, of course, this tunnel, which is actually almost 21 kilometers, and this is underground. But it's not just underground. Some of the portion of this tunnel goes under sea near Thane and Mumbai.
टनल का कंस्ट्रक्शन अच्छी पेस पे चल रहा है और ओवरऑल मुंबई अहमदाबाद हाई स्पीड रेल में करीब 340 किलोमीटर का काम ऑलरेडी बहुत अच्छी प्रोग्रेस पे है। जितनी नदियां हैं उन नदियों के ऊपर ब्रिज बहुत अच्छी प्रोग्रेस में है।
And this particular place where I'm standing right now is one of the crucial aspect and one of the crucial place in the National High Speed Rail Corporation of the bullet train, where the tunnel is already started here, and probably next few months we may see the completion of this work, and the bullet will start between Mumbai and Ahmedabad. Shishila for DD India, Mumbai.
And now news from the Mahakumbh, the largest religious congregation in the world. India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh took a holy dip in the Sangam and performed puja. This is on the 6th day of the Mahakumbh Mela in Uttar Pradesh's Prayagraj. He took a bath amidst the chanting of Vedic mantras. The Defence Minister will also hold a meeting with army officials regarding the security arrangements for the Kumbh Mela, the Mahakumbh. At the Mahakumbh Mela, where millions gather in unity, Chai Point is serving over 5.5 million cups of chai, bringing people together while staying committed to sustainability. Siddharth Bardwaj is there, he reports.
In India, chai or tea is not just a beverage, but an emotion. I'm here in front of Chai Point, and in this Mahakumbh 2025, they are brewing something special. Not just offering tea, but also a unique experience to bring people together, one sip at a time. In the heart of the world's largest human gathering,
where millions of souls come together in search of spirituality and unity. One thing transcends all boundaries: the simple joy of a perfect cup of tea. And this year, Chai Point is here to be part of this historic journey at the Mahakumbh Mela.
Just tell us about Chai Point, what actually it is, what concept you have come up with.
We are completely technology-led. We see ourselves as a beverage platform, which essentially means that for the last 6-7 years, we've been building chai as well as coffee machines, but fundamentally focusing on chai. And that assures the customer of a very high level of quality and consistency.
Visitors are praising Chai Point not just for the perfect cup of tea, but also for its unwavering commitment to cleanliness and hygiene.
Super nice, clean, easy to take, and just enjoy a good coffee, a very nice good coffee.
Yeah, we were driving around, and I think this is one of the relatively cleaner place. And there's a variety of like drinks and food, which is nice.
College time we used to go, and also especially in Kumbh, you're always confused about where to eat because you don't know what's clean. So it's nice to have it here because everything looks clean, everything is very organized.
I love lemon tea at Chai Point. And Chai Point has been a part of our college days also. So this is a good nostalgia.
It becomes a challenging task to serve tea to so many people who come here each day. And that's where the technology comes into play. You can see this machine. This machine has the capability to make 15 liters of tea in just 12 minutes.
Chai Point maintains a strong focus by responsibly sourcing ingredients and minimizing waste, ensuring that each cup of tea contributes to a healthier planet. Serving millions at the Mahakumbh, Chai Point is not just fueling the spirit with tea, it's also fostering a sustainable future. After all, India runs on chai, and so does a greener tomorrow.
Chai Point at Mahakumbh Mela is a celebration of simple joy that chai or tea brings in our lives, connecting strangers, creating memories, and sparking conversations. But one sip at a time. With camera person Rakesh Kumar, this is Siddharth Bhardwaj reporting for DD India in Prayagraj.
Siddharth Bhardwaj there taking in the Mahakumbh Mela one sip at a time. That's all we have in this edition of DD India Live. But let's know, for those of you on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. It's available in both Android and iOS, so you can download it by scanning the QR code. It's available on the screen. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. My name is Mark Lynn from all of us here in Delhi. Thank you very much for watching DD India Live. Namaskar.